What is happening, y'all? You know what time it is? Or do you? I don't know. So I'm going to tell you. It's time for story mode. It's been a while. Haven't watched story mode in a long time, but I absolutely love this channel. Internet Historian is great, as we all know. And having him explain video game lore in his silly way and with the obvious badass production that goes into the videos. The visual aspect is great. The storytelling is always fucking hilarious. And yeah, I enjoy story mode, and I know that you guys do too, because what is there not to like? So Silent Hill is a franchise that, I've never beaten any of the Silent Hill games. I usually just I haven't tried in a really long time, but used to, I would just get so scared that I would fucking stop playing it. Like, it took me up until, I don't know, I was definitely in my 20s when I decided to finally start playing Resident Evil games again. So I've never picked Silent Hill games back up, but I am very interested in doing so. So who could give me a crash course on what's going on with Silent Hill? Well, of course, Internet Historian could on Story Mode channel, and that is what we're going to be watching today. We're going to be watching Silent Hill number 1, Expleened. And if you haven't subscribed to Story Mode yet, I suggest that you do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can go and find this video, and yeah, you got to give them some love over there. It's some great stuff, as you're about to see. So without any further ado, let's watch this damn thing.
Shh, we're playing Silent Hill. The story takes place in the fictional town of Silent Hill in the fictional state of Maine. Welcome to sunny Silent Hill. Harry Mason and his favorite daughter, Cheryl, are taking a nice, relaxing drive to Silent Hill when, oh my god, what is that? Harry parks the car safely into a ditch. Ouch, he regains consciousness, but oh no, where's his daughter, adopted daughter, Cheryl? She's run off. I'll just wait here. No, he decides to panic, and he leaves the wreckage to look for his daughter. Oh, that's weird, the whole town is abandoned. Surely someone would say something about that. Nope. Harry spots Cheryl in the distance running away. He gives chase and ends up down a dark alley. Cheryl, you dummy, stop running. And we hear a siren in the distance. Suddenly, everything's dark. Using a lighter, Harry sees that he's moved into a different dimension, and everything's kinda spooky now. Everything is covered in blood, and the upholstery is in a terrible way. Unfazed and still determined to find Cheryl, Harry continues down the dark alley. What's this? A horrific corpse.
Ah! Stop! I could have dropped my croissant!
Harry, look out. He's attacked by a bunch of creepy monsters. Harry is overpowered, and he blacks out. Harry regains consciousness in the deserted cafe 5 to 2. Harry meets Cybil Bennett, a name that sounds made up. I'll have a grande frappuccino, please, but she's a police officer, and she's from the neighboring town of Brahms, and is investigating the mysterious deserting of Silent Hill. She gives Harry a shotgun because it's America.
A shotgun?
He leaves to look for help. Harry finds more weapons in here, and a knife. Before Harry can poke around the cafe anymore, though, a huge winged creature comes crashing through the window with the help of his new best friend, the shotgun. Harry defeats the monster before getting the hell out of there with all the free plastic straws he can carry. In the alley where Harry first got his ass served to him, he finds a note supposedly left by Cheryl, directing him to the school. Harry makes his way through the town to Midwich Elementary School. There he meets some child-sized monsters called Mumblers. Speak up, then. Classic. Harry finds 3 riddles. The answer is the school's clock tower, so he heads there, but uh-oh, it goes all spooky again. Now he's in the Dark Realm version of the school. Harry sort of stumbles through the Dark Realm until he comes face-to-face with a shadow known as the Splithead. The clue's in the name. Harry tussles with the split head, eventually defeating it and returning everything back to normal, sort of normal-ish, good enough. Harry makes his way to the school's boiler room where he sees a girl for a moment before she disappears before his very eyes. No time to dwell on that freaky occurrence, Harry. It's the church. Do you hear that bell? It's ringing for you. Get in there before Jesus scolds you for being late. In the church, he sees a woman praying at the altar. The woman is Dahlia Gillespie, also sounds made up. She seems to be a sweet old woman, albeit very creepy and definitely part of a cult. Dahlia hands Harry a mystical item called a flower rose and points him in the direction of the hospital. Before Harry can pop a question or two, Dahlia dashes out of there. Harry crosses a bridge to central Silent Hill. It's not much nicer, but the real estate prices are outrageous. Harry enters the hospital, and instead of a monster, he finds Dr. Kaufman. Kaufman tells Harry that his daughter is probably dead, and time to make a new one with his wife, but then Harry tells him that his wife is dead, and he goes, oh. Anyway, we find a strange red liquid called Aglafotis. Harry then heads down to the basement to turn on a generator. After getting back into the elevator, Harry notices that there's a 4th floor now available to visit that wasn't available to
Papa John's.
And because Harry just still hasn't got the gist of what's going on, he goes there and finds out that it's a dark realm version of the hospital. Oh no. Here he fights some more monsters and some sexy nurses. It's time for your sponge bath. But instead of a sponge, it's death. And instead of a bath, it's death. While exploring, Harry finds a picture of a girl we saw in the boiler room, and this time it's been conveniently labeled with her name, Alessa. Sup, Lisa? Exposition time, perhaps?
We're under strict order.
The world starts to leave the dark and goes into the light version, and Lisa leaves with it too. Boo. Waking up, Harry is met by...
Yes, Dahlia Gillespie.
What's going on?
Darkness.
Dahlia knows a lot about what's going on, but she won't give a straight answer, and instead gives Harry a key and tells him to head to an antique shop. In the antique shop, we meet up with Cybil. Keeping on theme, she fills his mind magazine with 16 hollow point rounds of exposition. Cybil apparently saw Cheryl walking on the lake, Jesus style. Cybil also discovered a drug trafficking ring run by Dr. Kaufman. He's selling Percocets and weed to tourists without a prescription. Harry and Cybil find a hidden altar in the antique room. The altar enables Harry to telepathically communicate with Lisa, the nurse. Well, it's not telepathic, he actually teleports there, and then because you get the idea. He's doing a message. Talking to Lisa, Harry learns about some Silent Hill history. Before Silent Hill went all spooky, it was a resort town, run by a cult that dabbled in black magic. As new people started to move into Silent Hill, there were mysterious deaths, and it was chalked up as some sort of curse. Harry asks her about Dahlia and finds out that her daughter died in a fire a few years ago. Harry wakes up from his telepathic chat, and he goes to find the lake that Cybil saw Cheryl moonwalking across. On his way there, Harry enters the mall, where some television screens suddenly show a terrified Cheryl, followed by some odd symbols. Then Harry stumbles upon Kaufman being attacked. Harry saves Kaufman, yay, thank you. Then he picks up a vial of red liquid Algaphotos that Kaufman dropped. Kaufman snatches it back from him and tells him to get lost.
Leave me alone.
Harry finds himself back in the hospital
Just
where he
saved
sees
him.
Lisa again. She gives him directions to the lake. And luckily for him, those directions happen to be through the sewer system. Once out of the sewers,
So lucky.
Harry meets up with Cybil and Dahlia again. Dahlia has inferred that the darkness consuming the town has something to do with this Alessa chick. It's all her fault, she says. Dahlia tells Harry that Alessa is in the lighthouse and sends him off to go fight that thing, even though no one thinks he'll win. Harry runs to the lighthouse to his certain doom, where he briefly sees Alessa before she disappears again. So instead, Harry goes to the amusement park. Whee! Never mind, there's Cybil doing business. She's been investigating the place, and this roller coaster is definitely not up to standard. But oh no, Cybil is possessed! Harry exchanges a few punches and also bullets with Cybil before giving her some of that red goo.
I'll have what she's having.
And she comes back to normal. Suddenly, Alessa appears again. Use the fluoros. You have subdued me. But wait. Things are about to get a little twisty. Dahlia shows up. She reveals that Alessa's her daughter. Oh my God! Dahlia admits that she manipulated Harry. Haha, I have manipulated you. I wanted you to subdue Alessa for me. Dahlia then takes Alessa away. Haha, my schemes. Harry then wakes up in the Darker Realm Hospital. Lisa's there, but this time she's a corrupt monster who's bleeding out of every orifice of her body. She begs for Harry to help, but he chickens out because she's not his time.
I'm just looking for a girl that I can laugh with.
Exploring more, Harry encounters flashback time. Alessa was born into a cult family. Dahlia performed a ritual that forced Alessa to birth a god for the cult. This ritual involved burning down the house while Alessa was trapped inside. Alessa survived and split her soul in twain to prevent the birth of the god. Alessa's status as a vessel made her immortal. One half of the soul was manifested into Cheryl. The other half stayed in Alessa. Lisa then cared for Alessa in secret in order to fulfill her drug addiction to PTV, which was supplied by Dr. Kaufman. He's in on it. What does PTV stand for? No one knows. Wait, hold on. Wiki says that it's made from an indigenous plant called White Claudia. It's a hallucinogen. Dahlia casts a spell to lure Cheryl back to Silent Hill,
White
and upon
Claudia,
entering the town, Alessa's soul was rejoined. Harry gets back up after watching the flashbacks. He soon finds Dahlia, Cybil, and Alessa, and a figure wrapped in bandages. Oh shit, that's Alessa and Cheryl recombined. Gross. The Alessa demon thing comes to life, and it looks like it's going to put up one hell of a fight, but then Kaufman, from nowhere, comes running in and throws a vial of red goo on the demon.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Somehow exercising it from the writhing, dying demon thing, and Incubus murders from its back, and the Incubus kills Dahlia. No, Dahlia. Harry then fights and defeats the Incubus. Amongst the flames and chaos, we see an Alessa Cheryl hybrid, who hands Harry a baby. Here you go, thanks. Harry, Cybil, and Kaufman make their escape, but before all three can, Lisa appears and drags Kaufman down to... Oh, bye, Kaufman. Harry and Cybil are so close to escaping, but the darker realm is collapsing too. Oh no, it's coming for you. So, using the last of her powers, the Alessa Cheryl hybrid stops the destruction, enough for them to be able to leave before everything's engulfed in flames. Cybil, Harry, and the baby make it out alive. Yay. Well, not really. Yay. Harry's daughter is dead, and now he has to care for this random baby. But at least he gets to keep the shotgun.
Well, there you have that. Internet historian doing his damn thing. I'm pretty sure he may have put his own little twist on some things, perhaps, maybe, but so funny, dude. What was that plant, White Claudia or something like that? And the croissant bit, oh dude, I hadn't seen that in forever. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about, dude. Internet historian is a fucking genius. The way that he edits his videos, the inclusions of memes, and it's never like the ones that are just popular. Like, whatever fits, whatever he thinks will be a funny little tidbit is fucking hilarious. And it was whenever the shit turned to dark and the monsters started showing up that I pieced out as a kid. So a lot of that shit I have no fucking clue of. No recollection about. I may end up going back and playing it, but I don't know. I do have some Silent Hill games, physical copies of some of them, so I'll get to them. Like I said, I've got a physical backlog of video games. It's fucking ridiculous, and a bunch of shit that I need to get into. Then Silent Hill's one of them. I will probably have to do that at some point. But yeah, what an interesting tidbit, and how funny it is, the shit that, like, obviously not a shotgun, dude, come on, but that is funny. I like how he picked up the drugs and the knife. He was like, a weapon and a knife. It's like, he's a genius, dude. The guy's a genius, man. He's a comedic genius. And I always appreciate the stuff that he does. And the Story Mode channel is one that if you haven't subscribed to, I recommend you do. If you haven't gone on there and checked out those videos, I definitely recommend that you do that. Percocet. Yeah, right. That was funny as hell. Yeah, Parasite Eve is one that I haven't played at all. I've thought about checking it out, but I haven't gotten into it now that I'm not too scared to play Silent Hill. Nanopolis loves Silent Hill. Simple as that, he said. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody that tuned in for the live stream reaction to this. We got Thomas Horton, Ariel, Dr. Dell, Nanopolis, Nuvastroya in here. Very, very cool. So yeah, go check out Story Mode. If you enjoyed my reaction to this, you could always subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and recommend something for me to react to in the future down in the comments. But for this one, I think that's going to do it. See y'all.